Have you ever wondered if there's a cosmic map written just for you? Well, today, we're going to decode one of the most personal documents in Hindu astrology, the Kundali. It's the super complex chart of symbols and planets. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it tells a person's life story.
So what's the big idea here? Just imagine for a second. What if the exact moment and place you're born created a unique cosmic blueprint? A map that, according to Vedic astrology, details your potential, your challenges, and pretty much all the major chapters of your life. That is the promise of the Kundali.
All right, so to read this cosmic map, we've got to start with the foundation, right? We need to know what a Kundali is, and what's the one single point that anchors the entire chart.
At its heart, a Kundali is basically a celestial snapshot. Seriously, think of it like this. It's a picture of the sky that captures the exact positions of all the planets and stars, right from your vantage point on Earth at the very second you took your first breath. This becomes the raw data for everything else.
Now, here's the starting line for the whole thing. The Lagna, or what's also called the Ascendant. It's the zodiac sign that was literally rising on the eastern horizon when you were born. This sign becomes the first house of your chart, and it's seen as the primary representation of you, your identity, your personality, even how you look. It's a huge deal.
So how is this blueprint actually put together? You know, a Kundali isn't just some abstract idea, it's built from really specific personal data, which then gets plugged into the core charts that make up the heart of the reading.
And this shows you just how grounded the whole system is in concrete details. Using the document for this explainer, you can see the inputs: a name, a specific date, an exact time, and a place of birth. This data then generates the key astrological points, like the ascendant, which turns out to be Cancer in this case, and the moon sign, which is Leo.
Okay, so that data gets used to create these two main charts. On one side, you've got the Lagna chart. That's the main event. It's the map of your external life, the world you see and interact with. But then you have the Navamsha chart, which is considered a deeper, more spiritual look at your inner self and your soul's journey. It's especially important for analyzing things like marriage and partnerships.
But here's something that's absolutely crucial to get. This chart isn't static. It's also a timeline. A huge part of Vedic astrology is mapping out how different planets become active during specific periods of your life, creating these really distinct chapters.
This is called the Vimshatari Dasha system. As you can see from our source document, a life is divided into these major periods, or Mahadashas, each one ruled by a specific planet. For this person, life kicked off in a Venus period, then moved into the Sun's period, and then a 10-year moon period. Each phase is supposed to bring the themes of its ruling planet right to the forefront of your life.
And get this, there are other timing systems running at the same time. One of the most famous is Sari Sari. This is a 7.5-year-long transit of Saturn around your birth moon sign. It's often seen as a really intense period of lessons, challenges, and major transformation. It just goes to show you the chart's timeline has a lot of overlapping layers.
Okay, so we've got the structure and we've got the timeline. But what does the chart actually say? Well, the next step is to start identifying the built-in strengths and potential challenges, all based on how the planets are placed.
And that brings us to a really common question people have. Does the chart actually pinpoint specific difficulties you might run into? Well, according to the system, yeah, it does. This is done through the concept of astrological afflictions.
These afflictions are called doshas. Now, dosha isn't some kind of curse. It's more like an astrological combination that's believed to create specific hurdles or difficult patterns in a person's life. Could be in relationships, health, or your career.
So a key part of any reading is checking for these major doshas. And here, looking right at our source document, we see a really clear finding. It says the Kundali is free from the Kal Sarp dosh, which is a pretty challenging alignment that happens when all the planets get sandwiched between the two nodes of the moon.
But it's not all about challenges. On the flip side, the chart also highlights all the favorable stuff, the elements that are believed to support and strengthen you. This report lists everything from lucky numbers and days to favorable planets and even specific gems and metals that are considered to be in harmony with your personal cosmic blueprint.
All right, now for the final piece of the puzzle. How do all these different things, the houses, the planets, the timelines, the strengths, how do they all come together? They're all synthesized into detailed predictions that basically read like a life story.
Let's look at a few direct quotes from the predictions in our document. For personality, the chart is interpreted to describe someone who is energetic,
active, and really needs to be engaged. This is a direct translation of the planetary placements into actual character traits.
And you can see how that energetic personality then flows right into career advice. The reading suggests avoiding boring, safe work and instead going for high-stakes, challenging fields that need skill and risk, like being a surgeon or an engineer. See? It's all connected.
What's really interesting is that even the health predictions often come with this sense of personal responsibility. Here, the interpretation points out a potential vulnerability, the lungs in this case, but it frames it with proactive advice. It suggests longevity depends more on your own actions than just on fate.
So there you have it. In just a few minutes, we've gone from this complicated-looking grid of symbols and numbers to a full-on life narrative. We've seen how raw birth data creates a cosmic map, how that map unfolds over a lifetime, and how it's ultimately read to tell a very personal story.
Which leaves us with one final big question. After breaking it all down, what is a Kundalini really? Is it a fixed map of a destiny that's already written in the stars? Or is it maybe better seen as a complex mirror designed for self-reflection and understanding your own patterns and potential? The interpretation? Well, that's ultimately up to you.